Hello guys, my name is Amit and welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll understand how plugins work with Vagrant. Plugins are nothing but the extensions which will be used to enhance the functionality of Vagrant. So, as I said, Vagrant plugins are the extensions that enhance or modify the functionality of Vagrant. The existing Vagrant functionality, if you want to update or change or modify, we use the extensions or plugins. They allow you to add new features if they are not available, customize the existing behavior, or integrate the Vagrant with additional tools and services. Let me give a small example of it. Out of the box, Vagrant supports VirtualBox. But if I do not want to use VirtualBox, if I want to use VMware, or let's say I want to use QEMU, then how do I do this? This can be done by enhancing or extending the Vagrant functionality to support those providers using plugins. The plugins can provide the support for new virtualization providers, the one which I gave you right now, new provisioners. For example, instead of using file as a provisional or shell as a provisional, I want to use Ansible or let's say Chef or Puppet. How do I do this? This again can be done with the help of extensions. You can also add different commands or the configuration options. Now there are different types of plugins available here. For example, you can install different providers plugin to support those providers like VMware, as I said. Extend the Vagrant to support the additional virtualization providers like VMware, Docker, QEMU, so on and so forth. Vagrant by default does not support anything but VirtualBox. So if you want to use them, you'll have to install the plugins. You can also go for provider plugins, as I mentioned. It can add the new provisioning tools like Puppet, Chef, Ansible, Docker, so on and so forth. You can also enhance it by adding some command plugins to introduce new commands or modify the existing ones in Vagrant CLI. Probably, depending on your requirement, you can install them. Middleware plugins, they will modify how the Vagrant processes the requests internally. Again, it will enhance the functionality of Vagrant. And finally, the utility plugins means they provide the additional functionality like syncing the files or managing the networks, or you can say customizing the Vagrant's behavior. Now, depending on the requirement, you can install all of these plugins. Now, let me show you how it works with the command line. So let's turn our attention to the command line now. Let me show you how it works with CLI. To work with CLI, you can use the command Vagrant plugin and use subcommand list to list down all the plugins that those are installed. So for example, on this machine, I have installed no plugin. So let's go back here and say Vagrant plugin install and the name of that plugin. So in my case, I'll be using VMware as my provider. So I have to add or extend or enhance the Vagrant's functionality to support VMware by installing this plugin. So essentially, you are having a Vagrant, you are having, let's say, VMware. Now you want Vagrant to communicate with the VMware via this plugin called as VMware Vagrant VMware Desktop. Now there are multiple plugins, those are available out there. You can keep on installing with the help of install command. If I use that list command again, you can see that it is now installed on my machine. Tomorrow, if the version changes, can I update that? Yes, you can say Vagrant plugin update, and then you can pass the name. So it's like Vagrant VMware Desktop. So it will update it will update the version of this whenever it gets changed on the source side. You can also uninstall it by using uninstall command or purge command or expunge command. I don't want to, but if I want, I can simply go back and use the command Vagrant plugin. I'll see all the different options available here. So there's an uninstall option which will uninstall that plugin from your machine. Repair, sometimes you update the Vagrant machine and then it will not support the existing version of your plugin. You can use the command repair. If it cannot be repaired, you can go and expunge all the plugins which you have installed for the old version of Vagrant. Make sure when you are using the expunge command, it is going to uninstall the plugin. It will not, it will not keep it. It will just remove the existing plugin. So these are the commands which are available, which will enhance the functionality of Vagrant. If you are going to use VMware as a provider, make sure that you are installing this plugin named as Vagrant VMware Desktop. Without this, Vagrant will not work with VMware. That's all in this video. In this video, you must have understood what plugins are and how important they are in order to communicate with the external ecosystems, like the providers, for example. Now, I'll see you in the next session where we'll try creating our first Vagrant custom box from scratch. See you soon. Thank you very much.